Whew. All right. Hey, good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson, Results Staffing. Been a couple days. You know the drill. Got a lot of discussions tonight about staffing issues, and be right back after these messages. Whew. Tubia, that still video, that's the newer one. They had to extend it a little bit, and that's always scares the heck out of you. Hey, Ron, how you doing? I just messaged you, and maybe we can connect this week, Ronnie. Excuse me. I want to see what you do about the emails, and that caught my eye, so I wanted to know if we could reach out and talk and maybe do a show or just see what you do. Ronnie, Tuvia is a great person to reach out to. He has a lot of great information also that he does. And so tonight I wanted to, it's been a couple of days. It's been crazy, but I wanted to talk to a couple of things about staffing. First of all, I want to read this to you. It was a great post from Gary Travis. He probably doesn't even know I'm going to read this one, but we talked about, how to train people and the new workforce, you want to be able to help them, train them, right? Well, he wrote a great thing. It says, you can teach Microsoft Office, business acumen, technical skills, time management, communication, but you can't teach character, attitude, loyalty, dedication, and kindness. So hire for character. Anything else can be taught. That was Gail Miller liked it, but Gary Travis, that was insane. I mean, I read that over and over and over, and that's what we had said. We'll definitely talk this week, Ronnie. I appreciate it. Hey, Bill. Bill, this sits right here still. 3 companies today I tried. They won't even take my freaking calls, man. I say I have someone for free, Bill. I have a candidate for free. At least take a look at the resume or her video screening. And I got 2 messages. They never called back. I'm going to try them again tomorrow. So I haven't given up on that. That's going to take me a while. And then there was one other comment on LinkedIn from Doug Lawson. This sums it up, even about LinkedIn, and then we'll get into the subject. But what no one tells you about LinkedIn, it's not for everyone. Yes, many of us make good living converting organic traffic to paid clients, all right? But many are not cut out for it. Most coaches, consultants tell you it's easy. Just be yourself and boom, the rain of cash will come in. Not true. Here's what they don't tell you. I got to say, this is pretty funny. Here's what they don't tell you. If you have lack of courage, you won't make it. Commenting, posting. Get that back on. Consistently requires you to put yourself out there to be judged. If this bothers you to the core, you're not going to make it on here. See, he says, if you're not creative, you're not going to make it. 99% of all social media content is boring and copied on LinkedIn. I did learn that. You know what? Don't pay for those social media calendars. I'm telling you, don't. Just go back through the result. Go right through. I paid for Powerhouse Content. Great company. Listen, this stuff is great. But then I was like, wait a minute. This is the same stuff that everybody posts on LinkedIn. And they got all that little characters and all that other little crap. I don't even know what it is. But I was like, hey, why pay for that? But 99% is content is boring and copied. Those that make it interesting, engaging, different, do well. God, I'm not going to get there. If you lack patience, you won't make it. Content marketing takes time. If you're hyper buyer centric, you won't make it. Relationship matter, connecting to a human matters. And that's what it was. That was a great article. I liked it. Doug Lawson. It was just what he said. Oh, I loved it. Yeah, it was I enjoyed reading that. That was like, I love the honesty of someone like that because it catches my eye. Also, Seth Godin says coach mentors are overrated and Tubi, you do this to me all the time. Seth Godin says coaches, mentors are overrated and non-scalable. All right, the riches are in the niches. I'll remember that one. Hey, I wanted to go over a couple things that they had some recruiting this week of what people are doing differently. So I was like, hey, you know what? Give it a shot, see what they're doing. So they're still talking about virtual job fairs. I don't know if anybody else has seen any of them. Sometimes when I sign in on them, I don't really see anything. So I'm not sure how they turn out. I'm sure they work. You can't stand outside in the cold right now. I'm sure in Florida too, you can, but it's something that I think that you have to be engaging with because if I signed on to it, I still haven't figured it all out. You just watch a job go across, or if they're opening up, some of the employment agencies are opening up now. You can be certain distance apart. So another one is this one here. I get it. Offer larger than normal referral bonus for difficult to fill positions. I go back and forth on that. And the reason I do is because money, it's got to stop sooner or later for in recruiting. Listen, it's great for the candidates, but it also hurts you should see what it does when some of these companies are offering $500 to $1,000 bonus. And then they don't stay, and then they don't have to pay it. Some of them don't even make it that far. But my point is, does that get people to leave? And is it really worth it? I mean, if you had $1,000, and I know people, I don't want to go into social media too much tonight. It freaking gives me a freaking headache all freaking day today. Nothing but social media. Another point, but it just hurts. It hurts trying to find job applicants, because everybody wants to go where there's a big bonus. Naturally, and Tuvia, I know you really like this, Tuvia, about referrals. Referrals are your number one. Listen, when you hire somebody, just ask, do you know somebody? And then just give them a bonus. Give them a $25 gift card or something like that. This one, instant bonus. I like this for giving names of person they would refer, $5 lottery ticket. I don't know if that's legal anymore, but we used to do it. You give lottery tickets to the recruiters or, I'm not sure, but why not give it a shot? Let's see, recruit visitors to the job board 2 times or more likely to apply to a job than a first-time visitor. I don't get that one. This one's a good one here. Tuvia, you're gonna love you got this freaking thing. Don't buy a freaking expensive microphone. It sucks. It keeps coming in and out. Tuvia, set up a table to see if a grocery store will allow you for recruiting to sit a table. That's friggin' priceless. If you provide excellent service, people will talk about you regardless. Yes, that's why the referrals and really digging in on the analytics of what you're doing can really show you something here. Remember word of mouth. We've talked about that. Work with companies that are laying off. That doesn't really happen that much anymore. I mean, if you do see it on social media, at least you can reach out to the companies, or on LinkedIn. If you've noticed, people are really getting smart on LinkedIn. And this is what LinkedIn's made for, is to come up with solutions and answers, not just posts. The dog's going to come in, lick you, and all your troubles are going to go away by just getting up in the morning and opening your eyes. And that's all I want to hear all the time. But people are posting their resumes and really sharing them on LinkedIn. And I love that idea, because I'm going to give everybody a hint here, Tuvia, and anybody else in recruiting. This is what you want to do. This, Bill, and one of them is give away your secrets. So I'm going to give away a secret here. If you're a staffing company and you're listening to this and you're on LinkedIn, just hear this out. See if this makes sense to you. You know that little loop around there says open to hire? I think opening to hire or hired. They're being, they need a job. As a staffing agency, go after them and reach out to all of them. Type it in the subject, seeking employment, right? All those people's names come up. And when I noticed, like for Allentown, Bethlehem, and then some of the areas where I went hit in Texas and not Ohio, Michigan, but there's some jobs up there, but think about it. So I've been connecting with all of them. And I put a personal note on here saying, hey, I'm from Results Staffing, reach out on my website, and we have 1,800 jobs. But Tuvia, that was friggin' awesome. I've gotten over probably about 30, 40 connections that way just to help them out. Some of them I can't. I don't know. I can't do something for everybody. I mean, some of these are way out of state, and I'd like to help them, but I just give them the ideas where to go and see where you go from there. But go on LinkedIn and seeking employment. I'm telling you, connect with them. But put a note, send a note. Don't just connect. I've been trying to get away from that because it kind of works better when you send a note anymore saying, hey, like I just did with Ronnie tonight. I just reached out to him. I said, hey, Ronnie, I saw his posts. I liked it. And I felt like I wanted to reach out to him. So that's all I sent was, hey, I'd like to learn about what you did. And now he's on the show tonight. And then we'll talk this week because I like what he does with emails and I want to learn more about it. But that's my point. I just didn't connect like that. I wanted to find out what he did. So try that and look for the decision makers. When you're putting even your resume, I've told people on LinkedIn, don't just put the resume in the content comments, hashtag every freaking company that you want to work at, then do the research. Look, the worst thing that can happen is on LinkedIn. When you find out who works there, say at Coca-Cola, right? You put out Coca-Cola, at Pepsi, at Dr. Pepper, whatever company comes up, but then tag people that work there. Tag them. That's all you have to do. What is the worst thing that's going to happen? That person gets Jesus, why am I like tonight? Gets a notification that his name has been mentioned. So get this, he goes all of a sudden, he looks, well, there's a resume. Wow, that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll reach out to him. That's my point. All it takes is just one person. If you utilize LinkedIn correctly, and I'm just learning more, so much of it. Tuvia, I got some good news finally. And Bill, I'm hoping I will do the dance in 48 hours if I can pull this off. I'm not going to say it, but we'll just wait 48 hours and then I'll tell you what it is after that. But utilize LinkedIn to your advantage for the recruiting side of it. That's what I've learned. Reach out to HR directors. So tag them. That's what they're there for. Listen, I have a candidate that wants to work at XPO. She said she loves it. So I messaged the person on XPO tonight over in Easton. I don't know her. I said, hey, listen, I got a great candidate. She said she loves working at XPO, picking the clothes. Her numbers were great, but she doesn't want to work for the staffing company that she was with. Just being honest, that's what she said. So I'm going to reach out, and I tagged her, and I said, hey, listen, she said her number's right. Here's her name, number. Reach out. That's it. What's the worst the HR director's going to say? Don't tag me. If you don't want to be tagged, if you don't want your number, you don't want your email, don't be on LinkedIn. I mean, that's just as simple as it can be. So that's when I wanted to talk about that. The chatbots. I know everybody sits there about chatbots on the websites, and people don't think that they're just not worth it. I differ with that. And the reason I say that, it's just another tool. If you don't want to use it, right? If you don't want to utilize it, don't utilize it. I utilize it when I want something after hours, because I already had to do 2 chatbots because I'm looking for another ATS system. And I did the chatbots and they'll reach out tomorrow. So I don't usually use that for any more much, but it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't cost much to have on your website, and it can get you some leads. Listen, if it doesn't work, don't utilize it. If it does, You know what I mean? Use it. Some of the stuff, I watched today, and I'm sorry, I looked today, and some of the companies were doing some great things, offering services if you come with them. Listen, we've talked about it before, the culture. The more I'm understanding, I'm trying to recruit, because I want to be able to recruit better than I did yesterday. I'm going to check into that. There's a reason. I'll talk to you about it. I'm going to shop around and see what I have, but they're really good also. And maybe I'll pick your brain on something else too. But utilize the chat box to your advantage. Just utilize it. You see, I don't even know what I was talking about there for a second. Next thing. Phone. They're offering a lot of new services now for you to come aboard. And think about it. Resume services. That's a great idea. Listen, I help people do resumes, but actually utilize. Reach out to somebody. I know a great person, Kate. She loves Optimum resumes. Listen, very reasonable price. Maybe bring that into that you offer. Bring it in. I get a lot of candidates ask about the resumes, and it does. When a professional does it, it does help, because the keywords, what they utilize, because a lot of those keywords are, when you do a posting, are coming off of that. So if you don't have, listen, mine's horrible. I hopefully don't ever want to have to make another one again in my life. I'm 54. I am friggin' done. I'm going to stick with this for the rest of my life. I don't care. I'm not going back to the corporate world. I don't ever want to do that. I swear I will jump off no, I'm not going to say jump off a cliff again, but offer some services. And I liked it. They actually even offered webinars. If you wanted to learn, it doesn't matter what I liked about it for in logistics, you could sign up for a course for 2, 3, 4 hour webinar on learning different skills. And it's free. So if you have a candidate that's coming in, and when you put stuff out there for free and good content, listen, I mean, I think it's going to be a great thing to offer that kind of stuff. And it doesn't have to be much. Maybe they just need to learn different skill sets. Do it. Put some Word on, two of you said, put some Word, put some Excel, webinars on there, free. That'll work. Never had a resume. How did I know? Is very good with social media. Okay, good. And Cats One. Geez, you got all these names on there. But some of the other things that people are saying is lunch, give out free lunch. Listen, surprise your staff. Walk in one day and just surprise them. If they're on second shift, and I even like Steve, how Steve would go in on night shift. Walk in on your night shift, bring some donuts, bring something in for them, because they're the ones that are forgotten, second and third shifts, even your weekend workers. All it takes is those little things. It doesn't have to be bonuses. It doesn't have to be just little perks. And also, what I liked also is about the culture, trying to sell the culture. And that sounds like sell culture. What does that mean? But what I'm learning is if you want to be able to sell the culture, get the company known to the candidate. Do the research on it, provide them the information, let them see what the company does, because a lot of people they're constantly tell me that it's all about the money, and it's not. I'm telling you, when I have people call here, the majority of people don't ever start out with, I need to make more money. It's either they're upset at their work, they're not happy, they're going to be furloughed, right? Or they just decided to change careers. That's all they say. So it's not always about, well, the company down the street is paying $20 and I'm only making $15. If you sell the company and the culture, you'll be more successful, because it makes sense to try to fit the culture. With the come back. So here we go. But if you really study the company, look at it. If the company wants you to staff for them and they tell you that we need 20 people, okay, back off a little bit, because if you really start to do your research on the candidate and see if the candidate's going to be a fit, besides a body warmer. That's what I learned today, a new word called body warmer. instead of just filling a body warmer. Listen, if you wanted 20 people and you got that turnover rate, and if you could send 5 really good ones, connect those 5 that you think are going to be a fit, sit down with that candidate, follow up with that candidate, talk to the candidate why he's working, he or she's working, and you might really be able to have that candidate excel in that company and get hired on. You won't have the turnover as much. But if you're just warming bodies or body warmers, that's what the mistake people make, and they complain about it. Corporations complain about it. Staffing companies complain about it. They all complain about it. And I get it. It's an expense for everybody. But if you don't help the client or candidate, they're not going to do it. I mean, they need the help. They need the guidance. After work, call them up after their first day. See how they made out. After a week, just make a little note. Take 15 seconds to call them. Or when you tour, walk up to them. Say, how's everything going? Are you happy? And you might really actually be able to cut something off there that they're having problems with to get it fixed. And that's what I've been trying to figure out for this one company is how am I going to stop that turnover? And how are we going to just find those right candidates to show we can make a difference and not just a high turnover? There's something happening. Something's happening why they're turning over. And what I've learned is they need to go back. You need to go back to touring. You need to take your candidates and tour them for your facility. Put little yellow lines, have them walk out with you, show them the position, let them see it, let them feel the environment, let them know if it's hot, let them know if it's cold. It's going to really eliminate the process. Now, it might not get you as many candidates real fast. You're not going to, unless you say body warmers, we want them, you can get them. But if you really look at that candidate and explain the position and show them where they're going to be after 520 hours, it's not just temp to perm. You need to sell the job to the candidate and then match the candidate with the job. I know that sounds crazy, but if it takes you 15, 20, 30 minutes extra to find one candidate versus 3 that aren't going to show up, it's well worth it. It's priceless because you're going to save money in a staffing company, and so is the client. But then you're also going to have pressure on you by your bosses about how long does it take you to recruit to find one person, to measurements. They measure the time. Again, it's a great tool to measure it, the metrics of it, to see who you're hiring, how fast. Don't make it a competition. Don't make it like, well, this person's recruited 15 today and this person's only recruited 3. You don't know what that recruiter that was going through 3 is going through. With direct hires, it can take 2 to 3 weeks sometimes to find that right person. In logistics, the same way. It could take up to a week to find somebody that really, really wants to work and move up. So the company that I'm looking at they really want people to grow. They want you to grow. Right? They don't just say, here's your hourly rate. All right. When you see a company growing, and I'm going to end it after this, when you see a company growing and you see them building on with logistics and building on, you should be thinking, whoa, look at that growth. That means they're going to need supervisors. They're going to need new leads. So as you work, explain to them, look at that position there. And some of them will say, well, I couldn't do that. Listen, I looked at some of these machines lately and I'd be like, whoa, I couldn't do that. But then you got to stop and say to yourself, you're trained. They teach you. That's what the main thing I wanted to show tonight is talk about the culture, recruiting of it, is take the time. Listen, some of these companies that say, you need 300-400, I get it. I've been there. I've been to that glory land, 500, 600, 700 people. I've been through that stress that some of the recruiters might be watching this. I've been there, how it makes your mind want to blow out of your head. It makes you freaking cry at night damn near. It makes you not want to go into work on Sundays for Mondays and makes Fridays useless. I mean, take that longer lunch because you've had a hard day. The candidates are feeling the same thing. So I understand the stress of that, but then you also need to talk to your supervisor, the same thing, your branch manager. You need to bring these things up in meetings. Why are candidates leaving? What are we going to do about it? Not just sit there and tell everybody, hey, your numbers are down, get them up. That's not the way to do it. Not as a leader. You're not going to get production that way. You're not going to show results if you just say, why aren't you doing this? Why didn't you fill 10 today? Well, maybe those 10 weren't a fit, but if you want me to fill them, I'll fill it. Then you're going to lose money because now you're going to send them. The client's going to be upset. Everybody gets pissed off. That's just the way it is. So if you've learned anything tonight, seriously, learn about the candidate. Don't send that candidate if they don't fit. If they've had 5, 6 jobs, when you're talking to them and they have no interest, when you're interviewing them and they pick up that cell phone right in the middle of an interview, I end it right there. I'm sorry. If I'm interviewing you, I've learned that if you pick up that cell phone and start, it's over. The interview's over. So on that note, have a great night. Tuvia, thanks. And I will reach out to you, Ronnie. And thanks a lot, Bill. I'm working on everything for Aaliyah, and I'll get back with her. Everybody have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.